Hey, what is up? I am Mark, and this is Lifestyle Savant. I've been pretty quiet on this channel for the last few months, but I just wanted to hop on here and recap where I'm at right now. I'm not going to edit this. I'm just going to kind of roll through it. The reason I've more or less have not been posting on this account is because I've been crazy busy. I finally found something that really hit, and I've been developing this dad brand called Actidad. It's all about being active with your kids, spending quality time, and just having a positive outlook on being a father. It started to take off. It started to really resonate with people. I started really enjoying it, and I said, you know what? I need to take my focus off of Lifestyle Savant. I'm going to go all in on Actidad. It's been going great. I've got a lot of things going for me here. The website 1.0 actidad.com is up and running. Really happy with it. It's basic. It's almost free to run, although there are some miscellaneous expenses. But actidad.com is live. Right now, I've embedded podcast episodes on there, which is another thing. I've launched a podcast, which I get into. There's several links so that you can join me on my various social media platforms, or you can join the Facebook group for Actidad, which is another thing I want to talk about. But Actidad.com is live. I'm really proud of it. I've collected several hundred email addresses, and so things are going well. Now, one of the challenges I have is I'd originally set up my mailing with a program called MailChimp. So it's on so the website is on a Shopify platform. And for whatever reason, MailChimp and Shopify had a falling out. They're not doing business anymore. So I've switched from MailChimp to a company called Privy. And so I'm using Privy right now. I just kind of got into it, just kind of starting it out, and I have some tweaking to do. But that's where I'm at right now. So again, I've collected about, 300, 400, 500 emails. So just kind of building up that book. So that's going well. Mind you, I started Actidad roughly 8 months ago, and at the time, I've just gone leaps and bounds from where I started. So website's live, podcast. I put in a lot of effort over the past few months into the Actidad podcast. And I'm really proud of it. I love listening to podcasts. I find it to be a very effective use of time. And there are a lot of very good business podcasts, how to make a podcast, overachieving marketing. There's some really good business related podcasts, but what I found is hardly any. There are so few podcasts for fathers about fatherhood, and most of them are, I just don't think are very good. So I said, you know what, I'm going to make one, and I made it. I've gotten several hundred downloads on it. It's now new and noteworthy on iTunes as of this date. It is May 24th, May 25th, I think it's, or May 27th actually. It's May 27th today. So the podcast is now new and noteworthy, and what's really cool is people have been finding the podcast through Apple iTunes. By listening to it and loving it, they actually join me on other platforms like my Facebook group. And so that's been a really powerful thing. So the podcast's going well. I've launched 8 episodes right now. I've already got one queued up for next Monday. That's going to be a 9th episode. So I'm really excited about where the podcast is going. And what's cool is every episode is better than the last one. I'm trying new things, different editing. I can't tell you how much I've learned. I do all the recording on a microphone here. Since I last checked in, I bought a boom arm, a mic, a shock mount, and a screen. I can't remember the name offhand. It's been a long day. Pop filter. So I recorded all onto a free platform called Audacity. I do all the basic editing in Audacity. I find it to be pretty simple. And then once I've kind of created and encoded that MP3 file correctly, then I transferred over to the Adobe Creative Suite into Adobe Audition. In Adobe Audition, I edit the audio to give it a more full sound, fix any clipping that might be in there, and just kind of clean up the audio. Shout out to David Bugg from the Father's Rights Movement for helping me improve my process there. Really appreciate it. So the podcast, I think, is a really solid program. I'm very proud of it. And one thing I think is really cool is that every episode gets better than the last one. So even though I've got 8 live as of today, it's like each episode just gets better and better. So I'm really excited about that. I can't wait to see where I'm at, like at 100 episodes, looking back and being like, wow, I've come so far. It's so cool. So the podcast is going great. YouTube, I've started a YouTube channel for Actidad. I'm also really proud of that. I haven't put quite the effort into that as I have into the podcast. I really want the podcast to be polished, but nevertheless, every episode gets better and better and better. And I got a lot of trial runs just doing lifestyle stuff on, but I'm trying different stuff now. If you want to check it out, you can check it out. It's just go to YouTube, type in Actidad, and you will see the channel. It's all excellently branded. So I'm doing different things on there. Right now I'm doing vlog style, educational type talking to fathers. And I'm also recording quality time that my daughter and I spend together and uploading that as well, in kind of like a fun, uplifting, just kind of fun everything. So I'm just trying different stuff, trying different editing styles. Now, as far as my YouTube channel now goes, all of the editing is done right on my phone, which I think is really cool. I think that if you've got a smartphone, you can do what I've been doing. So basically, I use a program called KineMaster, which I'm actually recording on KineMaster right now. It's just a very, very simple video editing program. You can add all sorts of neat little effects. I won't go into a ton of detail, but if you check out some of my videos on YouTube under Actidad, you can see what I'm talking about. So yeah, pretty cool stuff there with KineMaster. I definitely plan on getting more involved with the Adobe suite, can't remember the name of the program off my head, but the video editing software for Adobe soon, kind of diving into that. I just got a new computer so I can kind of practice with that. But right now, everything, as of today, May 27th, everything is shot and edited right on my phone. But I'm planning on improving that process over time. But the YouTube has been really cool, and that's working out. Twitter, still on there. Don't put a ton of effort into it. I mean, it's there. I'm at about like 100 followers or something. I post it once a day, and also making some cool connections. I've connected with some of the Life of Dad guys over there, and it's a good platform. I don't know. I don't spend a lot of time on Twitter, but I do keep up with it a little bit. So feel free to check me out, Actidad on Twitter. Instagram and Facebook is where I do the majority of my social media. I'm up to I think about 2,800 followers on Instagram, and quality followers, right? Not just like for like type stuff, but these are people that I think appreciate what the Actidad movement stands for and what we're trying to do to empower, support, and celebrate every dad worldwide. But I made a lot of good connections on Instagram. I really like that platform a lot. I go live every single night. I go live on Instagram for 3 to 4 minutes. Sometimes I'll have 10 people on. Sometimes I'll have 1 to 0 people on. It just depends. But what I'm trying to do is just create a consistency. Keep doing it. Keep digging in and keep repeating that process. So I'm just trying different things, getting more comfortable. I'm starting to, so let me get into that in a minute, the collaboration portion of what I'm doing. Facebook, also really big. I just hit the 1,000 follower mark on Facebook Actidad page. I'm up to almost 700 group members in the Actidad Awesome Dad group, which is pretty awesome as well. A lot of great stuff going on there. But it's been a grind to get to where I'm at now. And I think that a lot of people don't really understand how much work and how much effort actually goes into building a network. I am messaging people all the time. Basically in the morning and at night, I message people until I get blocked, particularly on Facebook. So what I'll do is I'll go in Facebook I'm in a bunch of different dad groups, and I'll post an interesting picture, maybe something, it doesn't really matter. I post an interesting picture that's relevant to that group and that topic. I put a little tagline that gets the juices flowing, gets people typing, and then every single person that engages with that post, I message and say, hey, if you like this, I think you'll like what I'm building over here. And by doing that, I can segue people to liking the Actidad page, joining the Actidad group. Then we can talk to them about the podcast, about the YouTube channel, and all the different things that I'm doing with the movement, with the Awesome Dad movement, with Actidad. So lots and lots of messaging. Also, I started off Instagram with a process that I still continue to this day. And that is every single night, I thank every single person that followed me during that day. I mean, if they unless they're a spam account, but every single person that looks like they're in my target demographic, I will say, thank you for following. Make sure to check out this link, and then I'll refer them to my bio, whatever that link is. Right now, I'm trying to move people to my Facebook group. So I'll say, hey, thank you for following. If you're on Facebook, join the group. You're gonna love it. So a lot of messaging. Now, okay, so a few things are changing as well. I've started doing a lot of collaborations, partially as a result of the podcast. So I've been collaborating with some very large dad accounts, whether they're on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. However I'm meeting them, I'm collaborating with them. And like, for example, the Father's Rights Movement. I linked up with the Father's Rights Movement because we're kind of aligned in the way that we think that fathers have been undervalued in society, right? We feel like, I feel like fathers just aren't respected and revered and valued in the way that they probably should be. And I think that causes a lot of discontentment amongst fathers. So anyway, I got into the Father's Rights Movement. I've been doing live feeds for them. I've done 3 or 4 now. I basically on a weekly, I do a weekly show there, and that has been a really cool way of just meeting more and more people. I mean, I think I've had up to 60 to 70 people just in one live stream, just chatting, going back and forth. And so that's been a really, really cool program. I had a son last week. Thank you. Very excited about that. And so I took a week off, but I'm ready to get right back get right back into it. Okay, so what else? What else is new? Collaborations. Yeah, so the collaborations are starting to go, and now I'm starting to hit this point where I'm getting really, really excited because I've gotten a lot of good reviews on the podcast. People are loving the Facebook group. The YouTube channel is, I mean, it's very small now. I think I've got 26, 28 followers. So it's really small, but you got to start somewhere. But things are starting to get really interesting because I'm starting to do a lot of collaborations. I collaborated with another national organization called Father's Eve. We're going to be putting on a local event at a Brews Room. Just, hey, if you're a dad and you're free, come to Brews Room and hang out with other dads. It's basically that simple. So it's a cool kind of networking event. Did a live stream with John over there, and yeah, that's going good. And I've got several other collaborations lined up as well. I had another dad from that runs another podcast called Shut Up and Dad actually messaged me the other day and said, hey, I saw you on New and Noteworthy. I'd like to have you on as a guest to my show. So I'm going to collaborate with them, create some more content there. So a lot of things are happening. Super excited about it. And I don't know where things are going to go, but I just wanted to briefly jump on here and just kind of give everyone an update of where I'm at with my lifestyle, if you would. I mean, this is Lifestyle Savant. The goal of this brand of Lifestyle Savant is to document my journey through this journey. It's basically document my journey and where is it going to go? What am I learning? How am I moving forward? And I can say that I have learned an immense amount. I am not the same person now as I was when I started 1.5 years ago down this journey of fulfillment, if you would. But if there's one piece of advice I would give anyone, it's that you need to start doing something. Look at the lifestyle that you want to have. Where do you want to go, and then reverse engineer it from there? How much do I need to make? How can I make that money? But my mentality right now is not so much making money off the dad brand and off dads, although I do plan on launching merchandise very soon, probably within the next month. I'm going to be launching merchandise from my store, from my Shopify store. So that's where I'm going to start. I'm going to start with merchandise. I'll probably check in next month to let you know how it goes. I've had a lot of dads ask me, hey, what about merch? What about merch? So I'm going to launch some merch and see how that goes. I'm going to drop ship it because right now I'm solely focused on content creation. I don't want to focus so much on inventory and shipping and returns and all of that. So I'm going to go through a third-party company, just say, hey, someone clicks this button, I'll cash the check, you send them the shirt or the hat or the sweater or whatever it is, and then everybody wins. So that's where I'm at right now. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. This is an exciting time. I'm starting to move. I've gotten kind of the core of Actidad down. the core messaging, the websites, everything is looking really fresh, really clean. So I'm really happy about that. Now it's time to take it to step 2, which is look at collaborations to kind of blow it up, and monetization is another thing I'm looking at. Oh, the other thing I'm looking at is looking for help, looking for people that can help me do some of the editing, particularly on the podcast and the YouTube vlog. It's just a lot, and I'd like to be more focused on creating the content and having someone else help edit it, kind of like a Gary Vaynerchuk style, where he just riffs all the time, and he's got guys behind him that are videoing and whatnot. So that's, I think, the end goal, is to get somewhere like that. But for now, I'm a one man show, and I think that's another interesting thing about what I'm doing, is that it's not that I'm scared to offload these tasks and processes to other people, but I want to know, I want to taste it, I want to feel it. I want to know what that process is like so I can understand it. That way I can give better direction to other people, or I can know when something's not going right, or I can get feedback from them and kind of talk, sound like I know what I'm talking about. So anyway, with that being said, I got to balance. I got a lot to do tonight, like I do every night. Nighttime is when I make that money, so to speak, or figuratively. So it's about almost 9:30 here. I'm gonna rock and roll. I got things to do. Thank you so much for watching. This has been Lifestyle Savant. If you could, please smash that like. Reach out to me anytime. I'm happy to collaborate. If you'd like to know more about what I'm doing with Actidad and how you can build up a network, let me know, because I would love to help you. Things are starting to blow up a little bit, and it's really exciting. With that being said, have an awesome day, and I'll talk to you soon.